Cue for a cup of coffee right about now.
They say that Aurora is made from a fish. But how does it swim when it's always high?
Something you need?
I hope I find a gift that I can afford.
You good? What's up?
All of our items are guaranteed to be of the highest quality. Oh, I carry all sorts of unique items from across the settled systems. Luxury products for the discerning buyer. I'm not one to boast, but my shop won me my position as Administrator Bayou's personal decorator. His penthouse is my pièce de résistance. Before I forget, I also pay top credits to travelers that bring me unique baubles and trinkets, so keep your eyes open as you explore the spaceways. You won't find a more elegant Oh, well, maybe I'll give it some thought. Maybe. Oh my goodness, that's such a relief. You have no idea. Thank you for accepting my offer. Headlock's quite a dangerous gentleman. I believe you can find him hanging out somewhere in Epside near Frankie's Grab and Go. No one knows. Seok are sleek, well-dressed mobsters. They aren't low-life gang members. Why they choose to hang out at a run-down little convenience store like that is beyond me. Whatever it takes. Just don't go getting yourself killed on my behalf. Anyway, that's really all I know. Head back here when you've taken care of the situation. Good luck. I believe he's a newer member of Seoka. They pulled him up out of one of the street gangs that crawl through our sewers. If you're wondering how I know about that, he boasts about it every time he comes in here. He's quite a large gentleman. I believe you can find him roaming the street somewhere in Epside near Frankie's Grab and Go. Look, if he somehow disappeared, you'd be doing everyone in Neon a favor. No one would miss him, no one would care. Come back soon. You never know what we'll have for sale.
Hey there, Adventure Explorer. Ready to make your ultimate discovery? We've got you covered. Archer.
Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you for it.
Can I help you? You lost, kiddo? Sure. I just don't get too many quality customers here. Most folks head over to Newell's or the Emporium if they've got the creds. I'd say less than half my customers are legit. The others are just kids up to no good. Yeah, well, make it quick. I ain't a fan of loitering. I had some high hopes for this shop back when my husband and I opened it a while back. These days, if you ain't a regular, you're usually trouble. Course, something happened. Ain't that always the case? Let's just say, those hopes died a long time ago, and there ain't no reviving them. Snacks, drinks, odds and ends, typical convenience store fare. Thought we'd snag a few of the Astro Lounge clubgoers who might want something to go on their way home. Turns out we were more appealing to the local gangs. We'll see about that. I may not be on the main strip, but I make enough to keep me afloat. Lucky for me, my regulars are a devoted crew. Mostly tied up in those good-for-nothing gangs. Those disciples and strikers always fighting over who gets to run the place, and not giving a damn over whose lives they ruin. Solomon thought a small convenience store with cheaper prices would make a killing. Of course, the only killing made was when he got himself shot in a robbery. Now it's just me running this place, so you can see why I'm not a huge fan of strangers in my shop.
How are you holding up?
Spit it out.
I mean, my life isn't perfect, but whose is? I've got it good. All
Not something I need. Sorry. I'm not interested in that. Never heard of him. Now, are you gonna buy something or just annoy me all day? How am I supposed to know where he is? Sorry, but I can't. Look, I'd like to help, but... Okay, that's pretty good. This isn't getting us anywhere. I told you, I don't know who Headlock is. Now either quit loitering or make yourself useful and buy something. Well, now that I know you're serious, we can talk business. Yeah, I know Headlock can't stand them. And I heard some of the other Sioka can't either. That boy doesn't know how to keep himself out of trouble. What'd he do this time? He's a customer. You're not here to interrogate me, so let's get back on track. Well, if any place should be terrorized, it may as well be the Emporium. In any case, if you're so desperate to find him, he and his friends are probably hanging out in Warehouse 4, somewhere near there. I gotta ask, what are you gonna do with him? That's one way to punish him. You'll just bore him to death. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a business to get back to. If you aren't gonna buy anything, you better run along. Until next time.
It's me.
Mia, if you head down any dark alleys, bring an espresso. It won't help you escape.
Who the hell are you? Back off.
I'm watching you.
And who do we have here? You here for business, or to get your head caved in? Is that so? I'm not just some low-life thug anymore. I'm with the Sioka now. You mess with me, you'll mess with the whole syndicate, and that won't end well for you. Well, it should. All I need to do is say the word, and my Sioka buddies will pay you a very unpleasant visit. So go on, hotshot. Give me a reason why I should leave Tevin and his shitty little store alone. Go on, enlighten me. But don't waste my time. It's annoying how you're making sense right now. That is just... Wow. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. That's just one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Sure, there may be some better uses of my time. It kills me to say this, but I see your point. Fine, we won't go around to the Emporium any longer. Whatever. Next time, I might not be so nice.
No funny business.
I'm watching you. Back off.
Neon has a lot of corruption, but little do they know. Wickedness repels off you like two opposing magnets.
Welcome. Yes. Can I help you? Oh my. Now that is a true relief. I thought I would never be rid of him. I'm not one to get involved with the rabble, so I'm glad you came along when you did. Thank you for your help. Please visit us again if you're in the market for luxury items.
Look, man, have a heart. I can't pay right now, but I'll spot you next time, okay?
Do I look like an idiot? Tell me, do I have a sign that says idiot taped to my back?
I want to get my pocket picked. I'm ready for the full neon experience.
Don't worry. Doc Manning will fix you up.
What can Reliant Medical do for you?
Yeah, that zone going. Weak. My whole body feels crumbling.
Coming down off Aurora isn't easy. It took me months to shake it off.
The doc.
Oh my goodness. Another poor soul. All right. Tell me what happened to you. Is it an Aurora overdose? Something else, perhaps? Unfortunately, yes. You see, the more Aurora that a user absorbs, the more resistance their body builds up to its active ingredients. That means the user needs larger and larger doses in order to feel its full effect. Eventually, the doses get so incredibly large, the user's nervous system simply can't handle the overload. Oh, well, that's quite unusual, but you're welcome here just the same. Since you're clearly a first-time visitor to Reliant Neon, I'd love to offer you a free checkup, but I'm afraid I'm dangerously low on supplies. I can assure you it isn't by choice. You see, I'm a bit at odds with the current administrator of Neon. His drug is turning the streets into a graveyard, and he doesn't seem to care. We've argued about it on more than one occasion, and all he's done is try to persuade me to quit. Thinning out my supply chain is his newest tactic. I've spoken to the people at Reliant Medical Corporate, I've talked to the Freestar Rangers, I've even gone to the Freestar Collective Council. Every answer is always the same. We're working on it. It's corruption at the highest levels. Ugh. So aggravating. There is, actually. But it requires outside assistance. At this point, I've resorted to asking anyone that has a ship registered outside of the Volii system to bring me medical supplies. I pay them for the supplies, of course, but it's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people at the spaceport. Now, if there's anything else I can do for you, anything at all, you just let me know. Aurora stimulates the neural circuits in the brain, specifically targeting the neurotransmitter serotonin in the prefrontal cortex. This causes significant sensory hallucinations, both auditory and visual. That's the enticement factor. As you can imagine, this state is highly addictive, and the user gets stuck in a vicious cycle. They need more Aurora to satisfy their cravings. Maybe you should lie down or something. Huh. Well, it's completely dependent upon how long the user's been addicted. People who have been using for, say, 2 years or less, I've been able to put through a full detoxification program successfully. But there are others who have been addicted pretty much all their adult lives, and I have yet to try and cure someone who hasn't relapsed. If you've got time, I've got time. I trust you'll put this to good use. I wouldn't mind a bit of extra traffic as long as the supplies allow for it. A few extra credits never hurt. Let's take a look. Not so bad, really. As you wish. If you aren't feeling well, I can have a look. That happens more than you think. There's a certain percentage of people that experience adverse effects in space. Fortunately, there's a procedure you can go through that can correct it. But once you get it, the procedure can't be undone. Take all the time you need. It's a big decision. Please state the nature of your medical emergency. That would be amazingly helpful. It's a relief to meet someone who gives a damn about anyone other than themselves for a change. Oh, and I'll pay you directly for the supplies, of course. It's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people at the spaceport. There's nothing to worry about. As long as packages aren't coming off a commercial vessel, the authorities won't scan them. That's why this has to be done slowly and methodically. If I get too much all at once, they'll catch on to my scheme. There's nothing else to be done about it. These people need my help. Anyway, I have a contact over at the clinic in the Narian system. Abby Edding. She's one of the nurses there. She'll get you started. Thank you so much for doing this. You have no idea how helpful it'll be for the poor folk that live in Ebside. Stay away from Aurora before you get hooked. You aren't looking well at all. Perhaps you'd better sit down. What can Reliant Medical do for you?
causing trouble.
Captain on deck.
Wish I had brought something to eat. I'm starving. I hope this trip is uneventful, for both our sakes.
It's very rude of the universe to not welcome you with fireworks when you arrive in space. At a bare minimum, a shooting star would be nice.
run out of oxygen here, I've been practicing holding my breath.
whoever's in that ship will be thrilled to see you.
Ma'am, I'm just a courier.
I understand. I'm not blaming you directly. Dr. Salvato, how long have you been here?
About a year now, Doctor.
And in that year, how many times have we had this conversation about late or missing shipments of supplies?
I believe this is the third time.
Yes, that sounds right. 3 times. I will be making it very clear to your superiors that lives are at stake, and the clinic requires reliable transport. If your company cannot meet our needs, someone else will.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Thank you, Dr. Salvato. You may return to your duties.
I hate this delivery run. Can't ever get here fast enough. It's a grav drive. I literally can't get here any faster. Thanks for delivering critical supplies would be nice to hear once in a while. Thanks for delivering critical supplies would be nice to hear once in a while.
You should inspect your ship. Need some work done? Sure, have at it. Just keep it nice.
I know your type. A freewheeling space ace. Must be nice.
My brother-in-law just got back from 2 weeks in Paradiso. Place looked amazing. But if I...
Evening, sir. Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
Ever run into spacers? Scumbags and scavengers. You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey, thanks for your service.
Is there a type of
You heard of the
weapon
Elios
Comtech
Retreat?
won't make?
Supposed to be some new age healing center for reforming criminals or whatever. Going up in Ixel too. I'm not holding my breath. Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere? It's because they have little outposts everywhere. There were so many facilities abandoned after the Colony War, the pirates used them as forward operating bases, all over the settled systems.
I think I got them. What do you
Hi.
call them?
How you
Gorns?
doing?
Yeah, I got Gorns.
Maybe I should have just gone to Aquila City. Really hope someone comes to take a look at me soon. If they haven't rushed me back, means it can't be that bad, right? I'm probably fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
It feels like I've been waiting forever. Maybe I should have just gone to Aquila City. Really hope someone comes to take a look at me soon. You know, I went to chef school. This ain't exactly where I saw myself.
I'm probably fine. Yeah. I'm fine.
If they
I
haven't
used to
rushed
be
me
an
back,
actuary.
means it can't be that
Oh,
bad.
me.
Right?
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space or got separated from their home planet or what. But they scavenge what they need. Lots of old facilities left over from the Colony War. And they like to pick them clean.
It feels like I've been waiting forever.
Move along, this can't let you through here. Hey, I don't make the assignments. I got a boss, and this is where I was told to waste my time. In the secure wing? No. But from what I understand, someone's paying to keep it that way. No one knows what's going on back there. This wing is contracted out to a private business. It's not open to the general public, not even standard clinic staff.
You know, every new alien pathogen we discover is just a little more job security.
Gotta look on the bright side, right? You had a chance to talk to Dr. Cassidy. Really fun guy. Try humor. So dry. Like almost every new alien pathogen we discover is just a little more job security.
There is no shortage of
Look
work
on the
to be
bright
done.
side, right?
You're doing good work.
When I told them I was good with computers, I didn't think they'd trust me with the entire clinic. Well, yeah, somebody has to. It's great medical care, but not the latest in support tech. Funding only goes so far, and most of it's prioritized for keeping patients alive. And there's still a lot of outdated UC tech behind the walls that needs interfacing, so I stay plenty busy. You know, I used to. Then I realized I could catch something just about anywhere, and if I did, this would be about the safest place in the galaxy to be. So, I feel like it kind of all evens out. We're still here after all this time, so it's not apocalyptic. I can't complain too much. I like the job security, and I get to help people. At least, indirectly. Oh, you're not familiar? I'll give you the quick version. UC built the station back in 2194. It was outside of their established territory, which caused a bit of a disagreement and a bit of a war. And after what I think most people would agree was much too long a period of time, the war ends. One of the terms was the station was handed over to the Freestar Collective. Never really thought about it that way. Guess you're right. Although, is that really irony? I feel like I don't really understand what qualifies. So since then, the clinic's been under Freestar Collective control. Over 100 years now, I think. Over time, it started to focus more on weird things people picked up on all sorts of planets and space expeditions, became known for it, and now focuses on it almost exclusively. And here we are today, carrying on that work. Actually makes me feel kind of proud when I lay it all out like that. Have a good one.
If people would stop poking their noses into every
Last few
unexplored
errors
biome in
are
the
out of the
galaxy,
system.
perhaps we
Oh, you're not familiar? I'll give you the quick version. UC built the station, and after what I think...
Just checking in, dear. You doing all right?
Not that many really good reasons for war, are there? I think it was more about the UC expanding into systems they didn't own. The principle of the thing, not the station itself. So since then, the clinic's been under Freestar Collective control. Over 100 years now, I think. Over time, it started to focus more on weird things people picked up on all sorts of planets and space expeditions, became known for it, and now focuses on it almost exclusively. And here we are today, carrying on that work. Actually makes me feel kind of proud when I lay it all out like that. Oh, you're not familiar? UC built the station back, and after what I think... I wasn't there, but it sounds like one of those situations where both sides claim they won, but the reality was that no one did. So since then, the clinic's been under Freestar Collective control. Over 100 years now, I think. Over time, it started to focus more on weird things people picked up on all sorts of planets and space expeditions, became known for it, and now focuses on it almost exclusively. And here we are today, carrying on that work. Actually makes me feel kind of proud when I lay it all out like that. Get out of here before you catch something. Just kidding. Sort of.
They're just letting people walk into occupied rooms? I'd like some privacy. Please leave. I'd rather not have you in here. Excuse me, but this is my private room. Please leave. I'd like to recover in peace. I'd like some privacy. Please leave. Please leave. I'd like to recover in peace. Excuse me, but this is my private room. I'd rather not have you in here. letting people walk into occupied rooms?
Definitely feeling better.
Oh,
Can't
God.
say the same for my brother.
I never should have eaten that. Whatever it was. Hey, buddy, I'm kinda suffering here. Can you leave me be? Probably shouldn't get too close. Well, at least it can't get any worse. Well, no, it definitely can, but trying to stay positive. Well, at least it probably shouldn't get too close.
We appreciate the company, but you might want to keep your distance. That I am. Lucky to be alive, apparently. Me and my brother here have been patients for going on, what, 4 or 5 months now? Good Lord. I, being the stronger and smarter one, am recovering quickly. Still sick as a dog, but doctors let me roam around to visit my infirm brother here. He was in a coma for months. He's only now making some sort of recovery. Well, I think it's all right, seeing as how my brother and I would be dead if we never came here. Doctors are nice enough, treatments aren't too bad, and food's all right. That doesn't mean I'm not counting down the days until we can leave. I'm itching to go back home. This genius brother of mine was begging me to go on a hike with him on Aquila. He's a real outdoorsy type, you know. Now, being a man of letters, I didn't want to go, but he just kept yapping. So we go on this hike, right? We don't know where the hell we're going. Well, we got lost, stranded with no food or water. I told him to pack food and water, but the fool forgot. Well, we start scavenging for some food to sustain us and come across this thing, like a plant, but I don't know what the hell the damn thing was. Looked tasty enough, so we ate it. Well, the damn thing nearly killed us both. Turns out, we weren't even that far from the city, so we were found by some passerby, and here we are. We got real lucky. Damn right. Damn right. John ate most of the thing. I only took a few bites. Oh, we weren't even that desperate. We had 3 meals that day, and I was cramping because we didn't wait long enough after supper to take the hike. But when you're out there in the wilderness, you can't pass up a single calorie. You must engorge yourself whenever able. I read that in a book. Take care now.
Can't wait to get back to my farm. The doctors were nice, but I'm ready to get out of here. It's good to see someone other than a nurse. Pain's not too bad today. The treatments were fine, but the food? Oh, heavens. Can't wait to get back to my farm.
How does she expect me to get all this done by myself? Just 1 week without something weird. That's not too much to ask. If you're thinking about going into medicine, just be really sure before you commit to it. Really sure. Oh, mind your step. Need to make sure those samples get disposed of. Never a dull moment. Need to make sure those files are backed up. Oh, mind your step. Never a dull moment.
Keep it moving.
I'd rather not have you in here.
If you're thinking about going into medicine, just be really sure before you commit to it.
Well, they should.
I'm here for research, not treatment. If that's what you're looking for, you'll need to speak to someone else.
Need to make sure
Unless
those
this is about the
samples get
clinical
disposed of.
trials I scheduled for later in the year, you may wish to speak to someone else. I'm afraid I lack the time for purely social interactions. There's simply too much to do to allow me to just stand about conversing with you. I apologize. I'm afraid I lack the time for purely social interactions.
Just 1 week without something weird, that's not too much to ask. Need to make sure those files are backed up. Just 1 week without something weird, that's not too much to ask.
Worst I usually have to deal with is folks worried about getting diagnosed fast enough. Can't blame them. Between you and me, this place sees some weird cases. You'd be guessing correctly then. Even if there was some kind of trouble, which there almost never is, Freestar Security would handle that. Truth is, this post is what you might call ornamental in nature. Ever since the clinic came under Freestar collective control, there's been a ranger here. I reckon it's to serve as a reminder who's in charge of this place. I'm just here to keep the peace. You need medical help, I'm the last person you want to talk to. Well, let's see now. I joined up in 2292, so that'd be 38 years now? Damn. Hard to believe, now that I think about it. Almost 40 years. There ain't been many Rangers who served that long, I can promise you that. Well, offhand, I can only think of two. Cassie Hickson made it to 42 years before she caught a bullet from one of them Shaw gang boys. He got himself all liquored up at Aggie's. That's over in Aquila City. Started using the passers-by for target practice. Then there was old Rusty Ortega. Had a good run of 52 years and retired to a farm on Montara Luna. Passed away just a few years back. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stop to count the years, well, they sure do add up. Not exactly a hotbed. Well, let's see. Damn. There ain't been many. Oh, I suppose it does cross my mind from time to time. I reckon I'll hang 'em up here in the next few years, but I like the work. Gives me something to do. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stop to count the years, well, they sure do add up. Between you and me? Well, let's see. Damn. There ain't been many. Oh, hell, nothing much happens around here anyway. But if you're saying I ain't exactly fit to go chasing after pirates and smugglers, I won't argue with you. That's why I'm stationed here instead of Neon or Aquila. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stop to count the years, well, they sure do add up. Worst I usually have. Well, let's see. Damn. Hard to believe. There ain't been many. Oh, thank you kindly. I've enjoyed the work, and I'm proud to serve. I suppose I don't think much about it, but when I stop to count the years, well, they sure do add up.
You didn't hear this from me. Those ecliptic mercenaries? The factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted into space dust.
You had a chance to talk to Dr. Cassidy. Really fun guy. You know, just by breathing the air in here, you are being exposed to about a dozen different viruses. I'm kidding. Probably. You know, just by breathing the air in here, you are being exposed to about a dozen different viruses.
Welcome to the clinic. I'm Dr. Darvish, Chief of Medicine. Is there something I can do for you? I thought perhaps the name gave it away. This is one of the preeminent medical care centers in the Settle systems. We take our work very seriously. Are you? Because I don't have any appointments scheduled. We have a particular focus on astrovirology here. So the patients we take on tend to have unusual cases that require long-term care, and sometimes require unorthodox or experimental treatments. We have an excellent track record that speaks for itself, but it doesn't leave room for much else. Whatever business you may be here for, I trust that you will conduct it quickly and do so without interfering with my staff or our operations. I am, yes. I took over from Dr. Eswaran when he retired 9 years ago. While the clinic does occasionally take on research projects that have their own chain of command, I am ultimately responsible for the entire facility. The clinic has occasionally been faced with unique situations that might be considered hazardous in other facilities, but no, nothing that could not be contained and dealt with. I'm afraid that information is confidential and restricted to our corporate partners funding the projects. Certainly. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of new worlds that humanity has set foot on. While many don't host some sort of life, there are more than enough that do. Any one of those worlds could be inhabited by all manner of pathogens. Things we've never seen and have no idea how to treat. Someone has to try and stay ahead of what could be a very deadly curve. Here at the clinic, we do our best. If we do it right, no, not usually. An abundance of safety protocols are in place, and we have decades of experience. Ironically, this may be one of the safest environments in the Settle systems. Would you now? Well, I suppose we could always use additional research specimens. The more data we have about what's out there in the Settled systems, the faster we can diagnose novel illnesses. In theory, at least. I suppose we could consider you an independent contractor of sorts. There are naturally occurring antimicrobials in both alien flora and fauna that we can learn from. If you can provide some additional samples, there are credits in it for you. What we're looking for are basic organic substances. They could come from any number of flora or fauna on countless worlds across the Settled systems. Just keep your eyes open as you travel and harvest things when you find them. Or frankly, if you can find them at a reasonable price somewhere, purchase them. I'm less concerned with the source than the materials themselves. It's encouraging to know that every case we cure here, take care.
Are you the courier? You're not really supposed to be back here. You can just drop the delivery off by the docking port and someone will take care of it. Well, then you won't have Dr. Darvish breathing down your neck at least. But, well, we're not really set up for having folks just milling about in here. It is a medical facility, after all. If you could just do your best to steer clear of the doctors while they work and not interrupt things, I'd really appreciate it. And if you need anything, I'm right here, okay? Well, I wouldn't really say we work together. It just happens to be in the same place. He has his job keeping the peace. I have mine keeping this place running. Truth be told, I think it might drive one or both of us a little crazy if we actually work together. But I do appreciate being able to see him every day, even if it's just to pop over to his office and say hello or share a meal. It's nice. Nurse supervisor, dear. I'm the one who takes care of all the doctors, as well as the patients. The more I can look after, the more the doctors can focus on patient diagnosis and treatment. Every role here is important. Oh, sometimes, sure. Somebody walks in or is dragged in with something we haven't seen before. You best believe it's all hands on deck. Have to find out if it's lethal or contagious, or both. I used to. I think we all did to some degree when we started working here. But really, how does worrying help when you've got people to treat? It just gets in the way. It can be, yes. But we've all learned to live with it. If we didn't do this, who knows how many lives would be lost. It's harder on the newer folks, that's for sure. You take that Dr. Salvato, nice man, but he's a little on the skittish side. He's a good doctor, but just needs a little more confidence, you know? Mm-hmm. Only been here a year or so, which isn't much compared to some of us. Don't misunderstand. He's got the training and the know-how. Just needs to relax and trust his instincts. Actually, now that we're talking about this, I wanted to do something nice for him. Give him a little pick-me-up. I overheard something about a meal he hadn't had in a long time. Thought maybe if I could deliver one to him, it'd be a nice gesture. You think you could help with that? Aren't you just the sweetest? You know that Don's Roost restaurant in New Atlantis? The fancy one? Dr. Salvato was talking about the synth liver pate. Said he'd never forget it. You bring me a plate and I'll make sure we brighten up his day.
Ari, how are you? Did you get those reports updated?
Are you here for a procedure? New-ish. I've only been here a year, which, well, when you compare it against Dr. Darvish's career, it's not much, is it? I'm thrilled to have the opportunity, but it's been an adjustment. Very few cases here are simple, and most of them are medical emergencies. I guess that depends on what you consider a break. We get some time to ourselves. We're not on call all the time, but we're never that far away from it either. Now that I think about it, I haven't actually left the clinic since I got the job. I actually hadn't really noticed. No, not really. This is my home now. The people here are wonderful, and the work we're doing is incredibly important. That's what really matters. Hey, let's keep our voices down. The clinic doesn't exactly know I'm giving its supplies away. That being said, I've been expecting someone soon. I've heard Bayou really has a vice grip on Neon right now. I have some supplies I can give you. should be more than enough for now, and it shouldn't draw any suspicion from the clinic. I'll have them loaded onto your ship. Sorry, I can't do that. This is the most I can give you without drawing suspicion. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. Maybe we can work something out. No, it's not that simple. Sorry, but I can't afford to give you any more supplies. I can't lose my job over this. What I'm giving you now should be more than enough. The supplies will be loaded onto your ship. No extras. I couldn't tell you better get going.
Excuse me, Dr. Darvish. Data from the last
I really hope someone comes to take a look at me soon.
Ready for action, Captain?
That ship will carry the memory of your visit forever.
You are cleared to dock at the clinic, the best medical facility in the settled systems. Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship. All right, we're done. Have a good time in Neon.
Please state the nature of your medical emergency. What can Reliant Medical do for you? We both apprenticed under Mary Cartwright at the medical facility in Aquila City. Spent a heck of a lot of hours working together. Abby and I got along exceptionally well. Don't get me wrong, we're just friends, of course. She's young enough to be my daughter. I almost felt bad leaving her behind when I was hired to work for Reliant in Neon, but I knew she'd do well wherever she ended up. Reached out to her a few months ago when I ran into trouble here, and she's been helping me ever since. I see. Well, I appreciate the effort, but there was no need for that. I hope it hasn't made things awkward between the two of you. Thanks for your help. You really came through for me. These supplies will be put to good use. Here, take this. You've earned it. Those supplies were sorely needed. Thanks again for getting them to me. Try not to get hurt out there.